Continuous integration is the single most important step in achieving software agility, in my opinion. Regardless of whether you do big releases or you release continuously, you should always build your software incrementally so that it's always in a releasable state. Why do I say this? Because the only way to know if your code is actually working is to see it work in the system. This is at the very heart of software agility. Here are 7 strategies for continuous integration. Number 1, think about automation from the very beginning. Project automation can't usually be an afterthought. We have to think about our designs and automating our code from the get-go. This involves isolating business logic, building pluggable components, and making code within each component simple and easy to understand. Implement a one-click build. The build must be easy to use. It has to be fast. It has to provide good diagnostic information if something goes wrong. And most importantly, it must be trustworthy. As soon as code is checked in from a developer's working copy of the system, the build should automatically run along with a full suite of unit tests to validate direct dependencies. If all of those tests pass, then the new code is automatically promoted to the build server, and either the entire build is run or it's queued up and a partial build is run immediately. Number 3, write testable code. Of course, the key to building an easy to automate system is to write testable code. Too often, developers write their tests after they write their code, only to discover that their code is not really testable and it has to be rewritten. Developers should avoid writing untestable code. Number 4, write the test first. The best way to write testable code, in my opinion, is to write the test first. By writing the test first and then creating production code to make a failing test pass, we're assured of always writing testable code and ending up writing code that's more focused and succinct. When done correctly, test-first development helps developers write cleaner code with less effort and more support. Number 5, strive for 100% test coverage. Another advantage of doing test-first development is that all production code that we write is inherently about making a failing test pass, so we always get 100% test coverage. If you don't think trivial code like getters and setters should have unit test coverage, I'm not going to argue with you. But all complex code, code with multiple code paths, should be covered by unit tests. Number 6, remove human intervention. The key to doing continuous delivery successfully is to remove all manual processes from validating a release candidate. When we can do this, we can drop the cost of validating release candidates to nearly 0. And then the build becomes a rich source of instant feedback for the team that they can use all the time. Number 7, give back control of releases to the business. Continuous delivery doesn't mean you have to release all the time. It means your system is always in a releasable state. When new versions are released is a business decision based upon sales cycles, maintenance contracts, and other business factors. When we practice continuous integration and continuous delivery, we are giving control of when releases happen back to the business where it belongs. Continuous integration fundamentally changes the dynamic of developing software and turns the build into a rich source of feedback for developers. If you're building software incrementally, then code should be integrated as it's being built. The way to reduce risks of building features is to integrate them into a working copy of the system as we build them. Until next time, happy coding.